everyone, welcome to your show, The Untold, where we share stories and bring on great, incredible guests and learn about them.
Yes,
Hadeel,
Ahmed.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you feeling today?
Pretty good. How are
Getting
you
colder.
feeling so far?
Yeah,
You
well,
know,
I've-
doing The Untold. You've been a big part of it now.
yeah, it's been a fun experience, and then honestly, it doesn't feel like I'm doing anything. It just feels like I'm meeting people,
It is fun,
which is
right?
great.
It's different from the other shows we do, and it's just getting to know people on a personal level.
Yeah, and I love that. And the people are so friendly, and I love how they're willing to share their
Yes,
story.
share their
Some people are
knowledge and
very
their
discreet
stories.
when they come
Yeah,
to
yeah,
their life,
yeah.
but our guests are like so open about everything.
Today's
so
about
it's great.
food. Food is the way to the soul
Oh
and
my
the
God.
heart. Do you agree?
I'm getting hungry.
You're getting hungry.
Okay, maybe you should grab something after this. But you know
Yes.
what? Let's meet our guest
Yes.
right after the
Yes.
break. So we're back again with our guest, the clinical dietitian Sarah Aljaber. Welcome to the show, Sarah. So first of all, clinical dietitian. Apparently there's regular dietitian, if I'm not mistaken, and there's a clinical dietitian. What is the difference?
First of all, thank you for inviting me. I'm really happy to be with you today.
Of
Our
course,
pleasure.
welcome on the show.
There are different, let's say, job titles in the world of nutrition. So clinical dietitian has a different job description than a nutritionist, technical nutritionist, the dietitian.
And a normal dietitian.
Exactly. So what I'm doing right now, I actually work in a healthcare facility. So that's why I'm clinical. So I work with those who have already diseases, chronic diseases, admitted to the
diabetes?
hospital. Exactly.
Okay.
Admitted to the hospital for some reason. And just make sure that they take the right food, looking into their conditions, what the medical condition exactly, what kind of food that's suitable for their case. Of course, we work together with the doctor, the nurses, and everyone work under the healthcare facility and the hospital.
Okay. So let's start from the beginning then. What made you choose this field?
Um, that's a funny story.
Yeah.
Okay, so at the beginning, I wanted to be a doctor.
All right.
A
What kind of
actually, not
doctor?
doctor, a dentist.
Dentist.
I wanted to be a
Dentist.
dentist first.
Okay.
So I tried, I did my best, but it
Any
didn't
reason
happen.
you wanted to become a dentist?
I'm obsessed with teeth.
Okay.
Maybe she's obsessed with smiles. You like seeing people
Smiles.
smile.
Okay. Okay.
So I tried, but and then there was a new college opening, college for women. They had really amazing different divisions and fields, and nutrition was there. And I didn't want to choose something else outside the healthcare, outside hospitals. So I thought, why not? Let me go to to become a dietitian. Plus, my mother always, like, she watches Kuwait TV, and she always come with a new research going on and something related to nutrition. So I said, why not just to try? I think it's a new field. It's a changing. Every time there is a new research, cancel something else or maybe update something else. So it's not boring. So I thought, why not? So when I tried, first of all, I was at College of Science, and then first semester, I immediately moved to College for Women, and then become clinical dietitian.
All right.
So, I mean, it's when you started studying it, have you had any second thoughts in the beginning?
No. I knew I want to be a clinical dietitian.
And what did you study?
Where? Kuwait.
Yeah, in Kuwait.
In
all right,
Kuwait,
all
College
right.
for Women.
So you were on path of becoming a doctor, and you chose the nutrition side. Was there any other elements that pushed you to that field?
Anything else other than what happened with me? No, that's
Okay.
and it's changing, so it's not boring. I don't like boring jobs.
All right. You like the things to be changing and all that. That's good.
So,
Exactly.
when do we need to consult a clinical dietitian?
Again, sorry.
When do we need to consult a clinical dietitian?
Consult clinical dietitian. Look, dietitians. So if you, for example, if you want weight loss or, for example, sport and nutrition, maybe you can consult a dietitian. But if you want to, but clinical dietitian who work in the hospital actually works directly with the
patients,
patients.
and the diseases they have.
And
yeah.
also we have different clinics. We do see outpatient as well. Like for example, for renal or kidney diseases, for hepatic liver diseases, diabetes. For example, for gynecologist can, for example, pregnant women, they do see, they come as outpatient and they consult
Then
dietitians.
who sees a nutritionist if all these people see dietitians and clinical dietitians?
Nutritionists, when they work in the hospital, they have mostly diploma in nutrition. Okay. So what do they do? Everybody, actually, everyone agrees on something. We all educate. We all look into the recent studies. We update ourselves. Everybody, and we work together hand in hand. But mostly there is a catering division in the hospital, so they look after that section.
So where they make
Special
the
diets.
hospital food that we don't like so much.
No, but the food comes. This is another story. It's because the hospital is doing a deal with a specific catering.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what the dietitian does, make sure, or the nutritionist, make sure, even dietitian, we go into the kitchen as well. We do make sure that the whatever food on tray is the right food for the right patient. Sometimes there is, for example, there's a sweet that's not supposed to go to the patient because diabetic, so we have to remove it and change it exactly.
So you do the follow-ups.
Exactly, even the nutritionist. So the nutritionist also does the special diet for those who has a swallowing, dysphagia and swallowing issues. They make sure it's the right texture for the right person.
So what is a healthy food? I mean, we hear people saying that you should eat healthy, but again, when you think about it, it's just food and in different portions. That's my point of view. You just So what is the definition of healthy food?
First of all, healthy food is what the kind of food that doesn't make you sick.
So it depends on your body. It doesn't.
Exactly.
There's no specific, food
Exactly.
Well,
that's
that's a big
called
statement
healthy.
because there's a lot of bad things you can eat. That doesn't really make you sick, but it's bad for you, right?
Bad for you in the future as
In
well.
the future, okay.
Okay, and also, for example, let's take it this way. It's common in Kuwait. For example, those who have G6PD, let's say, okay?
They have what?
G6PD.
And that is, translate.
Glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase. They lack that kind of enzyme.
Okay.
So I don't want to go deep
Medical
into details.
terms, okay.
So they're not allowed to eat legumes, for example.
Oh, okay.
Eat what?
Legumes. So in that case, basically, for example, lentils, fool, these kind of things, they're not allowed to eat these things
They
because they will
upset
make
their
them,
stomach?
they get sick.
They get sick, okay.
Exactly, it's toxic because they lack that enzyme that breaks it down. So these people we don't recommend they become vegetarian or vegan, or you know what I mean. So this is a healthy food. It's very healthy food, but I don't recommend it for
So
this.
you're
particular-
basically saying healthy food varies from one person to the other.
Exactly, depends on their case, depends on their health. Also, it's not recommended for those who have. So there's so many diseases.
Lactose
actually.
intolerance.
No, that's different. Lactose intolerance. We're talking about dairy products because it's the milk sugar.
Okay, so what happens if you consist on eating like dairy products and you still, and you have lactose intolerance?
You mean
Besides stomach aches, I mean on the long term, if you keep upsetting your body, your stomach, because you're just you like the food.
there was a link between gut health and dairy, but in some people, keep in mind that we're as humans, sometimes there's a mutation. For example, for a very good period of time, you were okay with milk and dairy product, and then instantly you develop lactose intolerance. But doesn't mean because you had so much, that's just because your body sometimes makes it's a defense mechanism, and then it's like maybe an autoimmune disease, for example, and it happens like, I don't know, sometimes all of a sudden. So you have to stop eating it. Sometimes it's the opposite, the other way around. cucumber, for example, it's very simple. It's
Yeah.
usually cold.
One of the two
Cucumbers, I
vegetables
think,
I
is
eat.
hydrating.
No, but sometimes cucumbers, for example, you feel like it gives you heartburn. Come on.
Really?
It gives
No,
you heartburn.
never
but may not-
happened.
It doesn't happen with me.
It just
babe.
makes me
Maybe.
hungry for some reason.
Exactly. Maybe it can boost the metabolism in your case. So
Okay.
it depends. Maybe later on, in the future, that's not gonna happen when you have some
Okay. What about cravings? Why do we have cravings? That's a very good
cravings. So here, this is something happens in the brain. Okay, so
brain.
Yes.
So it's not my stomach just
satiety.
wanting to.
No, you feel satiety and hunger, for example.
Okay.
And there are something in between called craving. Sometimes we crave something. Maybe we crave it because our body is telling us, I lack this kind of food and I need to have it. For example,
So my body likes chocolate.
maybe because you've been hungry for some time or you missed your meal and then your sugar level will drop down and then you feel like
No, I
need
actually
some-
crave sugar-free chocolate or dark chocolate. I have these weird cravings.
Dark chocolate is actually good. It's
It
great.
is?
It's a great option. Yeah,
Okay.
you can take 70%, 80%,
Yeah, yeah,
90%. Yes.
Is
there's
eating
no
a lot
other-
of that is fine?
a lot of
80% dark chocolate?
yeah, it's fine.
It's fine?
good.
Like
It's
the whole
boost
bar?
your-
Then, okay, what if you have those
Not
cravings? What if you have those cravings and then you don't want to eat that thing because you're following a certain diet? How do you deal
How
with
do
that?
you deal
Like,
with
let's
the
say someone
cravings?
is craving something with sugar, but they're not supposed to have sugar, or craving someone with a lot of carbs, but they're not supposed to have carbs.
How do you suppress
How
your
do you
cravings?
suppress
Yeah.
it?
I was gonna say that. Okay, for example, I don't like that word, to be honest. Don't suppress your craving because it will backfires. Why? Because if you crave something, you want it really bad, you go eat something else, you will end up eating more than what you should. But if you crave something and you're fine, you're healthy and you're perfectly well, let's say you're on a diet, you can have small portion of that, whatever you're craving. You can have a small portion. So the key is in just the
It's
moderation.
moderation is
and
key.
The problem is once you start, you can't stop.
Quantity.
When you're craving something, you want it.
Discipline. You gotta be disciplined.
Exactly.
Discipline.
You
The-
gotta be disciplined.
But let's say someone, okay, I had that piece of whatever chocolate or sweet that I wanted, but then I want more. I'm still having that cravings. Is
When
there?
you want more, there's something wrong. Okay? Probably you're thirsty. You're not even hungry. You didn't have much water that day, for example. So you need to go back again to your day, how it started. Maybe you missed your breakfast. Maybe you missed a
Yeah.
meal.
Okay.
Sometimes just hormonal. So you need to check. You must know yourself. And again, this will change with time. It will change. You know yourself now, and then a few years later, things will change. That's normal. This is just life.
So okay, we're talking about all these, clinical stuff. I have so many questions, but I wanna, I wanna get to know you. Have you followed any, certain kind of diet plan?
Yeah, there's so many different
There's
diets.
so many different plans, like
So many
ketos and
different
whatever.
diets. Keto.
Have you tried one as a dietitian?
As a dietitian, I need to try things on myself. to be
Oh,
honest.
okay.
Okay.
So whenever I
Is
try
that a
something-
requirement? Is that a requirement, or you
No,
just
no,
put
no.
it as a homework to yourself?
Just I'm passionate. I just want to.
Okay.
Okay,
Sounds
okay.
okay.
I just want to know how people feel when they do it.
Because there's difference from studying it and experiencing
Exactly.
it,
Yeah.
Okay.
So then when you see it from that point of view, it's different. So when you speak to someone who's going through it, it's actually different. So I tried keto, but to be honest, I don't like it.
right?
I
It's
don't
not a
prefer it.
sustainable diet. I don't think it's a
It's
sustainable
boring.
diet. Yeah.
It's boring. You know why? Because there is no variety. We were trained and we learned that the key is in just moderation, self-discipline. There are other things you need to take into account. Not only food that you take. It's also
Water.
your sleep pattern.
Okay.
You must
Exercise.
sleep, exercise,
Exercise.
move more if you're inactive. Stress also.
Stress is lethal when it comes to
overthinking,
diet.
exactly.
Trust me.
And having water, you must know.
The water intake.
The thing
important,
is,
yeah.
with our modern society, they replace water with other drinks. Like we talk about fizzy drinks, juices, whatever. If I'm thirsty, I'll drink, a fizzy drink. I'll have me an energy drink. I don't know, I'm thirsty. Do you have any energy drinks in the house? That's what my brother does actually. So I think I don't know, like why? I mean, I don't think that's even.
Nothing is compared to water. Water is really different than any other liquid. Okay, so if you want
It's just
something
the flavor.
exactly, you want something
To
similar.
enhance the flavor, I guess, or
Actually,
something.
similar to water, it's like having water.
Sparkling water?
No,
No.
clear liquids. Clear liquids such
Clear
as
liquids,
yes,
such as
chamomile, these kind of things. Green tea, but I wouldn't
Okay.
prefer. I don't prefer it.
Chamomile is good. It's relaxing.
Mint, for example, when you drink mint, just boil it and drink it. That's a clear liquid. So whenever you see the glass and it's see-through, that's a clear liquid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
What about flavored water that they sell nowadays in the market?
just to maybe add a little drops of water. Instead, maybe you can just bring some juice and then add a few drops of that juice in your water.
Okay, I want to continue with that, but first let's go on a break and we'll be right back.
We're back on the Untold, continuing our conversation. We left off with beverages and all that. I had one thing. Are diet sodas good for you? Maybe not the normal ones. There's different ones now with natural sweeteners they use instead of the
Like stevia.
sugar. Like
stevia sugar,
right?
yeah.
So are those good for you?
Anything not natural
Mm.
is not good.
So I should quit stevia?
No, but you know what? Sweeteners also have side effects later on in the future.
Okay.
Okay, especially maybe at certain age, sweeteners should not be, part of the diet of, let's say, toddlers and children, for example,
mean-
maybe up until 16,
So there's
18
no
years
version of a
age.
soda that's good for you? Not really.
You can have it occasionally.
Occasionally.
Yes.
Moderation. We said moderation is key.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or
Or
instead of having like the big can of soda, the small one.
okay. That's a good
Okay,
compromise.
I haven't
That's a fair
drank anything
compromise.
fizzy since a year now, so I'm
But you
okay.
know what? We're talking about the beverages. Now soda and juices, let's say, that says nectar, for example.
Yeah, it's
Right.
nectar. Yeah.
That's a very high in sugar. Even drink, that's also sugar and water and flavor.
Right.
So you need to take into account if you have something that's high in sugar, like soda and these kind of things. When you consume 250 ml, you need to consume 2 more cups of water, in order to wash that out.
So we've been talking about diet and
Yes.
whatever for so long. Now we want to talk about you.
Yes.
What are the things you learned that affected you personally from your job?
My current job, just to be honest, I've been working only for 3 years. But before that, I worked in the education sector, to be honest.
What did you do in the educational sector before that?
I was instructor, but before that, I started as a TA, business.
Oh.
Teaching
Business management?
diploma, business management.
Okay, that's
So
a transformation, though.
that's a yeah.
Exactly.
That's a.
I was forced.
But your educational
She
background.
had to.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
no.
Wait, who forced you? What happened?
I need to know the story. Turn off the cameras. No. I'm kidding.
At the beginning, what
Yeah.
happened? I didn't like during the internship. I didn't like the atmosphere of having to go really far away to travel all the way in order to work as a dietitian, take some training really long. So I didn't even like it. So I wanted something more flexible. And then there was a quotization back then. So I saw an ad, a private college, asking for Kuwaitis who fluent in English and Arabic, and they have good skills in computer.
Computer skills.
So, computer skills. So I had I just recently received my ICDL. It's a license in computer, Microsoft Office and stuff. So I just applied. I went there. They did the interview. They liked me, so they hired me as a TA in business management department. And then later on, after just 1 semester later, I was like officially teaching So I continued my studies. I did MBA, which is in business administration as well as strategic management. And I was really in love with it. So in the first 5 years, I was teaching business diploma
5 years.
students, yes, until like
It
I
just
got
hit you.
migraines.
Okay.
Officially was diagnosed with migraines.
What?
Migraines is like an extreme headache, from
It's
my
yes,
understanding.
half side.
half side.
Yeah, half side
Okay.
of your head.
How do you
And,
know if you have it though?
I went to the neurologist, so we
But
did-
what are the signs?
the symptoms would be, this is what started with me. I started seeing aura, like
Aura.
spots. Do you know when you see the sun for a long time and then you
Uh-huh,
move your eyes,
yeah.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
see
yeah.
something dark
But
spots?
you're normally seeing that anywhere.
If you look at the light,
The lights, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
But I
normal.
started in the halfway in the middle of my teaching.
Oh.
I started seeing only half of my student faces, and then I knew
Wow.
that was aura. And then immediately, this is just the beginning. It's just an introduction, and then that my body's telling me you're getting a headache. It's like extreme headache, and then vomiting starts, and really I feel so photophobic. I cannot stand anybody talking, or I cannot stand any lights or anything. I just want to be in a dark place and maybe sleep. Sometimes it lasts for 3 days, and I have to go to the doctor and take.
But the symptoms are almost similar, except for the eye, whatever aura that you're saying. The symptoms are almost as same as astigmatism, because I have it.
No.
No, I have it.
Maybe.
I get the
I have
headaches, the
astigmatism. I
vomiting
never had
feeling.
headaches because of stigmatism.
I do, and
Is your
the
lenses
vomiting.
correcting the stigmatism? Are your lenses correcting the
I'm
stigmatism?
not wearing lenses.
Do you wear glasses?
I'm not wearing glasses.
That's the reason. Because
Yeah, but that's
stigmatism
what
needs to be
happens.
corrected.
I know, but like this is
You're
what happens.
asking for it.
I don't like wearing glasses, okay? And lenses, I tried them and they just
But there are
annoy me.
so many triggers to that headache. It actually it affected
It
my
just
life.
fades away once I sleep. Like once I get some sleep, wake up in the
No.
morning, keep
You
my
can't
phone
even
away for a
sleep
few
because
hours.
it's that hardcore.
Either or
Yeah.
sometimes no, it's so painful to the extent where it actually it wakes me up.
What would relieve the pain?
It's either I just wait for it to fade exactly,
There's no medication.
Patience.
or just take paracetamol
Okay.
or whatever.
Painkillers,
Exactly,
Yeah,
painkiller.
yeah.
No, I just go to sleep. And
It depends.
The thing is,
Because
when
we have a
you
normal
try to go to
headache. We're talking
sleep-
about a migraine here.
no. When you go to sleep with that kind
I
of
know,
headache,
I know.
it just-
Usually what I do for a headache is take a nap. But for a migraine,
Exactly.
you can't really go there.
Why you take a nap? Because the trigger was because there are certain things, bad habits that can trigger the headache. For example, you were up all night. I didn't have enough sleep. The
Right.
lack of sleep can actually cause it.
Or the environment you're in might be
It's too
affecting your...
loud,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Like after, I'm 100% sure now. After I walk out of the studio, I will get headache because of the light. So, the lighting. Yes, I definitely usually
Okay.
get it. Sometimes if a police car passes
and
by,
Oh yeah, the
And
flashlights.
the flashlights.
Oh my
Exactly,
god.
So you
That's-
have light sensitivity then?
could be.
Yeah.
It could be. So there are so many reasons, so many triggers. Sometimes it could be something,
Science.
It's my science, my sinus.
Sinus.
Sometimes it's the sinus. It's the reason. Sometimes, at least, especially when, for example, like the current situation now, we're moving to winter.
Right.
So whenever that season comes, definitely it will get inflamed. So I have to, yeah.
Is there
And
a
then-
cure for that?
Exactly, there is a cure. So you just take antibiotics and maybe some nasal sprays. Just wash
Okay,
it.
since you are a dietitian, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with how the medicine goes into the body and whatnot. So as far as I know, taking a lot of medicine, especially pills, affects your kidney.
Exact kidney, liver, everything.
So you should like,
Hormones, maybe. Everything. So, and also, if I want to go back to the field, I just want to say something. Food is just like medicine. Okay, just food is just like medicine.
I
It
What do you mean?
interacts.
Yeah.
It interacts with other kinds of food, and
Right.
also it interacts with medicine.
Okay, can you elaborate?
I think it's
Um,
true whenever you get sick, there are certain foods you eat that make you feel better, right?
Like soup?
No, that's only to control the symptoms.
Okay.
But when I talk about interaction, it's something way bigger than that. It's chemistry, basically. So basically, we studied chemistry, all kinds of chemistry. in order to find out how food interacts. They interact with each other, they interact with certain types of medicine. I'll give you an example. It's not recommended to have dairy products, such as, for example, leban, while you eat iron-rich food, like
Iron-rich
meat, red meat, for
Well,
example.
we like
Why?
having
Why?
kebab and rice and leban.
And then we go to sleep right after.
Habit, because it's a social habit. But tell me
Feels
why. What
so
do you
good,
think?
though.
What
Feels so
about
good.
having milk or any dairy products with fish?
Oh,
That's
no.
a myth.
That's
No.
That's
it?
a myth. It doesn't kill you. It's not
It does,
toxic.
yeah, but it's just no.
Exactly.
It's
It
just-
doesn't match.
It doesn't.
Exactly. But you tell me why you think dairy products is not recommended. You have it with something that has rich in iron.
I think it's just gonna upset your stomach.
No,
There's
dairy
a
products.
clashes or something.
Exactly. Dairy products will what will do? It will reduce the absorption of iron. So you will not benefit.
So you're not benefiting
Isn't
from
that
Okay.
what happens with tea when you drink tea?
Yes, exactly. Because it's high in caffeine, and
Yeah.
and caffeine will also
Tea actually destroys
and-
your
and-
iron.
Exactly. There are certain things that interact. So, for example, if we go back again to the dairy products, you wait for 2 hours. We recommend those with anemia, severe anemia especially. You wait for 2 hours after you have iron-rich food such as red meats, and then you can have any dairy products you like. It's also good and it has calcium. Also, on the other hand, if you have that iron-rich food, like red meat again, squeeze some lemon because vitamin C will enhance the absorption of iron. So food, again, it will interact with other kinds of food. Okay, you will not benefit from certain types of food if they interact with each other. Also, medicine. There are certain medicines you should avoid certain type of food when you take that when you're on that medication.
Okay, so what other myths do we have about food besides, like milk and fish, or that carrots make your eyes better? Because I know that's like not true. What other myth do we follow?
That's somehow correct because it has vitamin A. And vitamin A is good for your sight.
But it doesn't really.
Somehow.
Okay, somehow. Okay, before we end this, do you
Yeah.
have any advice for the viewers?
There's
But-
no diet fits all.
Okay.
So please do not share your friend's diet. Just go look for person who is specialized in nutrition, and they will help you and guide you through it.
And I see a lot of passion in you. What makes you want to be a pioneer in this field?
At the beginning, this was my passion, just to be a pioneer in everything that comes in any field. I just
Okay.
wanted to be a pioneer. This is what happened with me in education after I moved because of my migraine. I moved to work with Student Support Center, which is, I was like a pioneer at that time
Right.
because it was the first support center was established there. So I was the first who was there. I took a lot of training in order to work with special needs and those with learning differences. So I felt like I'm doing something new here. So everything in you, just like, I don't know, triggers me.
Curiosity? You're a curious person. Or,
Exactly.
Yeah, you like to learn about,
New things.
peoples.
Learning is also my passion.
That's good.
Well, thank you for your time today. We had a beautiful conversation learning about you and the field. Thank you for your time for today.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
for being
very
with us.
much. Thank you.
We'll be back for the wrap up.
So we have reached to the end of our episode for today from the Untold. That was incredible. She was fun.
Yes, she's very fun, very knowledgeable, humble, and just a bubbling
Informative.
personality.
She is, and you would expect like dietitians to be a little different. I don't know. I had that idea about dietitian. They're all, I don't want to eat this. I don't want to do that. But she was open to try different diets. She was, she cleared few
She's a
misconceptions.
great specialist, I think, and anyone that needs help in this field
Should definitely
should
contact her.
actually contact her. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so let's wrap up.
Yep, that's all for tonight's episode. Tune in next time for another guest and more stories right here on The Untold.
Good night.
Good night.